If you or someone you love is on the Australian age pension, or even close to qualifying, you absolutely need to watch this video right now, because in 2026, Centrelink has rolled out some of the most important payment changes in recent years, and if you don't know about them, you could be leaving real money on the table. We're talking updated fortnightly payment amounts, shifted income and asset thresholds, and a controversial change to deeming rates that is quietly affecting hundreds of thousands of part pensioners across the country. Stay with me, because by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly where you stand and exactly what to do next. Let's start with the big question everyone is asking. How much is the age pension actually paying in 2026? From March 20th, 2026, the maximum age pension rate for a single person is now $1,200.90 per fortnight, which works out to approximately $31,223 per year. For couples, each partner receives up to $905.20 per fortnight, meaning a couple combined receives around $1,810.40 every fortnight, or roughly $47,070 per year. These figures include the base rate, the pension supplement, and the energy supplement, all rolled together. Now let's break that down even further because understanding what makes up your payment matters. For singles, the base rate alone is $1,079.70 per fortnight, with a pension supplement of $84.90 on top and an energy supplement of $14.10. For each member of a couple, the base rate is $813.90, with a pension supplement of $64 and an energy supplement of $10.60. That energy supplement might seem small, but every dollar counts when you're on a fixed income managing rising grocery bills, power costs, and health expenses. So how much did these payments actually go up? Singles saw their maximum pension rise by $22.20 per fortnight from the previous rate, while couples received a combined increase of $33.40, or $16.70 each. Now, I know some of you are thinking that doesn't sound massive, but let's do the math. That's over $577 extra per year for a single person and more than $868 extra annually for a couple. When you're budgeting carefully in retirement, that kind of consistent boost genuinely matters. And here's something even more exciting that many people are not aware of. Due to the indexation of the asset test cutoff threshold on March 20th, 2026, some retirees who were previously just over the limit are now falling below the new cutoff, meaning they could now qualify for a part pension for the very first time. If you were knocked back before, or if you stopped checking because you thought you didn't qualify, right now in 2026 is the time to check again. You may have just become eligible without even doing anything. Let's talk about the income and asset tests, because this is where things get really important. Under the income test, a single pensioner can earn up to $218 per fortnight in assessable income before the pension starts reducing. For couples, the combined income-free area is $380 per fortnight. Above those free areas, the pension reduces by 50 cents for every dollar of income for singles. A single person's pension cuts out completely when their assessable income exceeds approximately $2,619.80 per fortnight. Thanks to the higher base pension rate from March 2026, those upper income cutoff limits have also increased by $44.40 per fortnight for singles and by $66.80 per fortnight for couples combined. In plain English, that means you can now have slightly more income coming in and still keep receiving at least a part pension. That's a genuine win. On the asset side, asset limits for homeowners have increased to $321,500 for singles and $481,500 for couples to receive the full pension. The cutoff limits, meaning the point where your pension completely disappears, are now $722,000 for a single homeowner and $1,085,000 for a couple who owns their home. For non-homeowners, those thresholds are higher to account for the fact that you don't have a home to fall back on. Now let's get into the most controversial change of 2026, one that is flying under the radar, but hitting part pensioners hard. That is the deeming rate increase. If you're not familiar with deeming, here's how it works. Deeming is the mechanism Centrelink uses to estimate income from financial assets like savings accounts, term deposits, shares, managed funds, and superannuation once you reach pension age. Rather than looking at what you actually earn from those assets, Services Australia assumes a notional rate of return and counts that figure as income for the pension income test. And here is the critical update you need to hear. From March 20th, 2026, deeming rates rose by 0.5%. For singles, the first $64,200 of financial assets is now deemed to earn 1.25%, up from 0.75%. For couples, the first $106,200 combined is also deemed at 1.25%. The upper deeming rate, which applies to balances above those thresholds, has risen to 3.25%. Why does this matter so much? Because if your actual savings or investments haven't earned more money this year, Centrelink is now assuming they have. That means some part pensioners will have their assessable income calculated as higher than before, which could reduce their pension payment, even though their real financial situation hasn't changed one bit. According to research, approximately 2/3 of Australians receiving a part pension have too much income to be eligible for the full pension, meaning the income test and deeming is the binding constraint for the majority of part-rate pensioners. If you fall into that group, sit down with a financial advisor or use the Centrelink estimator tool to see exactly how the deeming rate change hits your specific situation. There's also some good news in 2026 that many Australians don't know about, and it's called the work bonus. The work bonus allows you to work and earn up to $300 per fortnight without that income affecting your age pension. If you don't work in a given fortnight, that unused $300 accrues up to a maximum work bonus balance of $11,800. This is one of the most powerful and underutilized tools available to pensioners. If you do any casual work, part-time shifts, freelancing, or consulting in retirement, you could potentially earn thousands of dollars per year on top of your pension without it being touched. Make sure you're taking full advantage of this. Another thing worth knowing is how superannuation interacts with your pension in 2026. For people over pension age, superannuation is generally counted under both the income and assets tests. Income stream products such as account-based pensions are also assessed under deeming rules. This is why retirement income planning is not a set-and-forget exercise. The way your super is structured can have a direct impact on how much age pension you receive, and getting the structure right could mean thousands of dollars more in your pocket every year. Here's another piece of the puzzle you should know about. The Support at Home program has been live since July 2025 and changes how home care payments interact with the pension. If you or a family member is accessing aged care services at home, it's worth checking how this program applies to your household's overall Centrelink picture, because the interaction between home care funding and pension entitlements is something a lot of families aren't aware of. So what does all of this mean for you right now? Here are the key actions to take. First, if you're already on the age pension, your increase from March 20th, 2026 should already be flowing through automatically. You do not need to apply or do anything to receive the higher rate. But you should log into your MyGov account and double-check that your payment details and your declared income and assets are fully up to date. Centrelink depends on accurate information, and if your situation has changed, you need to report it. Second, if you've never applied for the age pension because you thought you had too many assets or too much income, check again right now. The higher thresholds in 2026 mean some Australians who previously missed out are now eligible. Even a small part pension can unlock concession cards, cheaper prescriptions, reduced utility bills, and other benefits worth far more than the pension itself. Third, if you're a part pensioner with savings or investments, speak to a financial advisor about the deeming rate increase, understand exactly how it affects your calculated income, and whether there are legal and legitimate ways to restructure your assets to improve your pension outcome. And fourth, if you're still doing some paid work, absolutely make sure you understand how the work bonus applies to you because it is genuinely one of the most generous allowances in the entire Centrelink system. The Australian age pension system is not something you should leave on autopilot. These twice-yearly indexation updates happen in March and September each year, and every single update can shift your entitlements. The next review is coming in September 2026, so stay subscribed to this channel because we will cover every change the moment it's announced. If you found this video helpful, please share it with your family and friends, especially those who are approaching retirement age or who are already on the pension. Knowledge is money when it comes to Centrelink, and too many Australians are missing out simply because they don't know what they're entitled to. Drop any questions you have in the comments below, and I will do my best to answer everyone. Thank you so much for watching, take care of yourselves, and we'll see you in the next one.